Inspectors knew that this would be a problem someday, and it happened.
Watching the death toll rise as care homes buckled under the weight of COVID-19 has been agonizing for this former long-term care home inspector, whose identity we've agreed to conceal because they still work in the industry.
It's been absolutely devastating because you knew that these problems were inherent and that the homes were not prepared, and they were not prepared to respond adequately to it.
More than 3,700 residents of long-term care homes in Ontario have died since COVID struck. Some homes with long lists of inspection violations both before and during the pandemic.
You look at things like inspections that have been done in the midst of outbreaks. They've shown gross deficiencies, but how has that information been acted upon, and how have the inspectors gone back in a timely manner to ensure that those deficiencies were rectified so that we're protecting the residents?
Part of the reason little was done, some speculate, is that penalties are rarely imposed, and there are no financial consequences.
Inspectors don't have a lot of teeth. I can tell you to do something and you can do the bare minimum to meet it, but there's no penalty towards it.
Under the previous Liberal provincial government, a bill was passed to give inspectors the power to issue an administrative penalty, but an election was called and it was never enacted. Doug Ford's provincial government could have moved forward with the law, but says it wanted to do more consultation, and so fines never happened.
We say that the government has an oversight mechanism that failed miserably long before COVID.
Daryl Singer is one of the lawyers behind a proposed class action lawsuit against dozens of long-term care homes in Ontario where outbreaks occurred. It alleges the provincial government is also liable for a lack of enforcement.
And what would happen if the police were pulling people over, giving speeding tickets, but there was no follow-up? Would you pay your ticket? No, of course you wouldn't. And that's exactly what's happened with the nursing homes. There's no consequence.
The government says it's still considering other enforcement options, and in the meantime will continue to use management orders to help homes in need. Carolyn Jarvis, Global News, Toronto.